So hi everybody, Taylor Johnson, North Star Group, Keller Williams, and I am sitting with Kimberly. I wanted to say Kimberly. I don't know why.
You can say that. Kimberly is technically my birth given name. You can say that.
Well, I'm here with Kim Hackett, and she is the owner and founder of KLH Home Staging, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And she is my personal stager. So she has done basically all my properties now for at least 4 or 5 plus years. So I'm definitely going to show and highlight a bunch of the other properties that you can see. All the staging in those was done by her and her team.
Yeah, good stuff.
So excited to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Can you just tell me a little bit, when did you get started and what got you into staging in the first place?
Yeah, so I used to work in corporate America and I just absolutely loathed sitting at a computer. So I was sort of looking for a way out of, the normal day-to-day desk job. And I did technically go to school for entrepreneurship, so owning my own business was something that I also wanted to do. The freedom of your own time is something that's always been really important to me. And I happened to go to a networking event about 8 years ago, and I met someone who was a home stager. And I said, what is that? Like, that's a job? Are you serious? And she told me all about it and even let me go on a project with her. And sort of the rest is history after that. I immediately went and got trained in it and built a website and started my business.
That's really funny to hear that because I just said you've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years for me. Right, when I first met you, I just assumed you've been doing this for like 20 years. Or I thought because it was so professional and so good and it came referred, I didn't really question it.
Yeah.
So it's funny to hear that because I started selling real estate about 9 years ago.
Yeah, so we got into it about the same time. Definitely.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So with staging, I got 2 big questions. Well, I'll start with one, right? Where do you guys find and keep all your stuff and how do you stay current? Right.
That is a fabulous question. Staying current, a lot of that, unfortunately, is about shopping, Luckily for us, we stay really busy, and so the idea of having to buy inventory on an annual basis is a reality for us, so that sort of forces us to be able to stay current with trends. And there's always going to be timeless pieces in the furniture world, really streamlined things, modern things that you can really cross paths into different styles of houses that you can hold on to that kind of inventory, for year to year to come. And even color blocking, a lot of your basics, kitchen accessories, bath towels, like those are the kinds of things we can use over and over throughout the year. But what's really important about that is sort of like you said, is storing it and keeping it all in an organized way so that we can sort of mix and match some of our newer pieces with some of our older pieces. We have a 10,000 square foot warehouse in Woburn. We have everything organized by style, type, sometimes by color in certain departments. And it really allows us to see our entire inventory at a whole. So when we walk into a property, we can kind of know, this house requires this stuff, and we know where exactly to find it in our warehouse.
Yeah. And how do you actually get this stuff here? So I've met your team. Are they the only people who are moving this? Do you ever have to outsource for movers, or how do you actually get these things? And do you have a truck as well?
Yeah, so we personally have 2 vans that we use, which are incredibly helpful for anytime we're doing city installs or tight spaces. We can get around Boston so easily with those vans versus, the bigger box trucks, that are a lot of trouble for people.
Parking's a nightmare.
It really can be, For the first 8 years of business, it's been me and my team of women moving the furniture. This busy summer season, we're definitely using movers more, hiring those out. But for a lot of our projects, we do it ourselves. We like having that control of our time and our inventory, just making sure that everything stays safe and controlled and get set up, exactly how we want it.
And I'm a firm believer if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, sometimes these guys are bulls in a china shop, so that's why we like to handle our stuff ourselves sometimes. Sometimes you find some gems, but we do a lot of it ourselves,
Yeah, and so like bigger furniture and things like that, that's where it would really more come into play.
Yeah, definitely. And we do have our resources for movers too as well for those bigger pieces or those bigger projects.
Cool. And what would it take, or what I should say, what is, do you think, your current capacity? If you had, let's say just the average house is, we'll call it 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, just a basic cookie cutter. If you had that to stage, how many of those do you think you could handle at once?
Well, I could tell you we have out right now staged probably like 60 houses or so.
Oh my God. Wow.
And we could probably easily stage, we're staging right now upwards of 10 projects a week, and we're also getting projects back, so that's always amping our inventory. This busy summer market, I think we could easily have 80 to 100 houses staged and have enough inventory for that. We have an
That's
insane amount of stuff over the years. We just are always buying, and very rarely do I get rid of stuff. So we just have, and it's great. It makes it so much easier to plan when we can go in and we have 25 sofas to pick from, you know, as opposed to 2 or 3, you know, which some smaller outfits only have that to choose from.
Yeah, well, I will say from my own personal experience, the best thing about hearing that, I never would have guessed the number was that high, just because of like how responsive you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To have that many places going and still make me feel like I'm the only one calling you when I need something. Is really top notch.
We're pretty good with the last minute phone call. We're pretty quick to plan.
Sorry.
We're pretty local. No, it's
pretty
totally
classic me that I need
totally
it.
get
It's
it.
emergency, please.
In the world of real estate, we totally understand that sometimes you don't get the listing until the project's already complete, and then you have a contractor, or a builder, or a homeowner that's saying, get my project staged, get my project listed. By being local and in Woburn, we're able to really get to so many of the hot spots that need staging so quickly.
Yeah.
And my team is so good at what they do in planning and setting things up that if someone calls us on a Tuesday, you know, if I've got a 2-hour block at some other point farther down the window of the week, I can probably fit you in. Or I'll rearrange things. You know, pickups are usually more flexible to move, so I could fit your install in. So I joke that flexible is our middle name because I think that is one thing that we're probably known for, is sort of being able to pivot for people, you know, on a whim. Yeah.
Well, I personally very much appreciate it, as you know.
Yeah.
All right, so one last little bit more of a fun question, if you can, is what is maybe the funniest or craziest story you have out of staging where you were just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening?
Well, we shot a pilot with HGTV, which was pretty insane.
That's cool.
I got a random email from some TV producers that wanted to film us staging, and we got to shoot that a few years ago. It's still shitting on the shelves at HGTV for what we know so far.
It hasn't aired yet,
and who knows if it ever will. From what I understand, hundreds of pilots get made a year on TV, and most of them don't go anywhere. But that was really crazy, and that was a fun experience. So it gave us a chance to sort of see how TV is made, the behind the scenes of things. And it really gave me a little bit of appreciation for that Joanna Gaines and what she goes through on the day-to-day, because making TV is hard. You know, that's like a job all on its own. So, and trying to do it while you stage is quite interesting.
Well, being on camera right now, you're doing pretty damn good.
Oh, thank you.
So, well, this was Kim. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Taylor.
Your team is amazing.
Thank
is there anything
you.
else that you want to share? Obviously, we're going to have your links and ways that people can get in touch with you if they're interested in hiring you for staging. But anything that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so we're obviously a full service staging team. We do everything from small projects to large projects, from traditional to luxury to modern. So anything that you guys need, you know, we have the variety of furniture and hopefully the time on our schedule to get it done for you. So.
And the whole greater Boston area pretty much?
Yep, and basically within an hour of Boston, we're ready to serve, so.
Awesome,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, well, thank you so much
for
Taylor.
doing
Yeah,
this. It's
we'll see you
always
soon.
a pleasure, never a chore.
Have a good one.
Thank you. All right, later guys.